A tourist guide to Cambridge. Cambridge is a wonderful city with a rich historical culture and many stunning pieces of architecture. Believe it or not, it is situated in Ireland, along with many other places such as Africa. Once you arrive in Cambridge, it can all be a bit baffling, but after a couple of weeks, most people will get used to it. However, the real Cambridgeites say that you can never take in the history of such a wonderful university, and it takes far, far longer than 2 weeks, possibly a lifetime. I'm going to talk about 4 things about Cambridge. Firstly, food. Secondly, the river. Thirdly, general information. And fourthly, the colleges. Food. Cambridge is famous for many different kinds of food, such as the pancit and ham sausage. We don't actually know whether these sausages contain pork or beef or neither. You have to taste it to make up your mind. As expected, these foods are served at stalls all around Cambridge, as well as some people like to drop large marine corals out of their windows. The food is very nice, but if you ever hit by a camper van, you might reconsider. Cambridge does have a couple or more Michelin star restaurants, and their cooking methods involve hammering a nail into the wall, deep frying old apple cores, mind you, not fresh apples, injecting daisies with molasses. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Slamming a door multiple times into a scone to make it light and fluffy. But you must not forget the strawberry jam and the Cornish clotted cream, which adds to the finesse of another wonderful food. These are unique and always result in delicious, top-quality food. Something very obvious that I would just like to point out: as Cambridge is so close to the sea, salt water is generally served with most of the dishes. This explains why there is no salt or salt cellars laid out on the tables in the college. Ice cream is also common, with lemon and orange being the most common flavours. I next come to the famous river. As you probably know, Cambridge is most famous because of its river, called the Cam. Cambridge is so named because of a very large bridge which goes lengthways along the Cam. The river is helpful in the construction of many different kinds of helicopters, most commonly the camcopter. However, the river is never boring, just like any old river. I have nearly finished here, but I want to tell you about a professor in the 1920s by the name of Professor Pigou. who was a great economist, and he skated on the Cam all the way to Ely and back. And the people that knew him said after that he was never quite the same again. General information. The Cambridge coat of arms consists of a picture of some old Roman coins and, unsurprisingly, a large dirigible codfish. The Mayor of Cambridge is well renowned, especially in Libya, for, can you believe it, sporting antics, such as standing on top of a limestone cliff and hitting the ground as hard as he can, not with a hammer, but with a croquet hammer. He often fares and new buildings while dressed up as a pansy, showing his great support towards the Green Team. However, what he is most famous for is putting a small seedlings under expensive cars such as Mercedes and of course Porsches. Here is a picture of the two most recent mayors of Cambridge. And you will see they depict all manner of things, including a violin, a tortoise, a ship's wheel, a telescope, a cannon, a monkey climbing a tree, with, can you believe it, a bottle in his hand. A common complaint in Cambridge is the large number of light switches in stately homes, and the police have been called many times as riots spring up due to this. The police use pogo sticks to get crimes as a way of getting fitter without increasing congestion. The most common crime in Cambridge is of criminals hitting people on the face with a long bit of rope that have keys attached to them. The most common shop in Cambridge is Staples, which sells, can you believe it, inflatable toy syringes filled with raspberries. You should know people who police the university after dark at night are called the proctor, and he goes round with two bulldogs to support him, and their presence means that the Cambridge police have no necessity for policing Cambridge and the Cambridge colleges. The colleges play a major part in Cambridge's economy, mining the large stone columns that generate so much income. The masters of the various colleges are well respected, mainly for their being able to get to level 34 on dark cells too. Though a great accomplishment, many view this with jealousy and protest by standing on top of the foremost columns with an anonymous mask on. And sometimes they get all sorts of things on top of the Senate House. In one year, there was an Austin 7 that found its way up at night on top of the Senate House. And nobody to this day has managed to find out how they did it. Sometimes large toy pieces of cheese are seen hovering above the college. Now, while this is not a common phenomenon, it is met with celebrations and fairs. The main fair is on Midsummer Common. The colleges have large steeples on the top. And some colleges don't have steeples at all. These steeples are incredibly sharp and catch the pigeons required for the college's vast food demands. And one college, once a year, has the great delicacy of swans, and they are the only college permitted to swerve roast. Swan. Giraffes are known to stick their heads slowly but out of the college windows, then whisk them in whenever they think someone has seen them.